Okay, daily recap. It is 11/19/25. It's a Wednesday. Pretty big day. So we are kind of getting right to the end of peak busy season for us here, but we are very busy. We typically, I had said this in some other videos, so October, very busy. November, we literally, the day before Thanksgiving, we are completely booked. And then Thanksgiving, we're obviously closed. That Friday, we are closed. Got my guys working on the weekend. There's some other work for them to do. But now we're booking up jobs already in December. But typically in December, it's still very busy, but a little less. I find that most people, they usually get things done for Thanksgiving. I guess you get a lot of people, at least in our area, who are maybe hosting both. And then we get a little bit of an uptick right after the holidays, like that first week, 2 weeks of January. And then we start to kind of go into the next year. So I haven't really done a lot of big picture stuff the last week or so, just because, today I was out on the truck with one of the guys. I helped them pick up a very large rug. I had one group of guys doing their normal pickup and deliveries today. Then I actually had to send my father out to do a very large rug return with two of our shop guys who normally clean rugs, because we just have to get these rugs out of the building, and there's just so many of them. But yeah, so, and then basically the rest of the day I had a couple of estimates I went on. Honestly, just the day was kind of a blur. I pretty much got calls. It's like 7:30 tonight. I pretty much got calls up until about 7 o'clock. I've also been getting some calls after, like much after hours, which I used to always pick up, and now I don't always pick them up, but I will send them a text if I see it, and I will say, hey, I can't really pick up the phone right now, but, how can I help you? And if they want to engage in text, I will. If not, I kind of pass them along to Conway. So, but yeah, just kind of rolling along here. The week was pretty good. Today was my weekly LeTip meeting. Pretty good meeting. I actually had two people after the meeting, didn't even see them in the meeting, but after the meeting reach out to me for some rug cleaning, some more personal stuff. And actually today we had a pretty cool job from, this is why joining these groups is really important. So there's a guy in the group. His name is, he owns a company called Star Bar. And what they do is they bring a old Airstream that they turned into a bar. And you would kind of rent this for like different parties or events. They actually do a pretty cool brand activation thing with it too. So you can pay to have it wrapped. They actually had Topo Chico actually hired them, and they wrapped the Star Bar, used it in the content, and they were serving, I guess, some of the newer Topo Chico hard seltzers that they make. So basically, though, this guy, obviously not related to carpet cleaning at all, was speaking to a woman who owns, I didn't even know this kind of company exists. They help elderly people either transition to, they'll help them like sell a home and get organized, or in a lot of cases, they will bring contractors in and go over the different options of, maybe they've lived in a home for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. They don't want to leave their home, but unfortunately they're now unable to live in that home. And they will fit it with, like the stairs, that the chairs that will help them go up the stairs. They'll gut the bathrooms. They will replace the showers with walk-in showers without having to step over a tub. So this guy from the bar company referred me to a woman who owns a company like this, and we just did our first job with them today. And again, this is kind of the power of a group with 120 different unique businesses, where everybody, there's a number component to this. So, in order to stay in this group, you need to, they don't have to close the business, but you need to pass along a certain amount of business. And what that means is really, you need to give somebody in the group the name and the phone number of a potential customer looking for one of their services. And you need to do 20 every quarter. So that I find that to be pretty easy. The quarter that we're in right now is October, November, December, and I've already hit that number. I hit that number in basically like the first week of November. So I'm not finding it very difficult. You do find certain companies that you definitely align with very heavily. But then every once in a while, it is nice to be able to, out of the blue, somebody says, hey, I need something. And you're like, you know what? I got a guy for that, or I have a woman who does that. So, but yeah, just kind of an interesting thing that's been going on. I've been getting more and more of this from this group too. I've been lucky enough. I've only been in the group since April, but I've made some real headway with a lot of these people, and I think that's just because I'm pretty active. So I'm finding you get out what you put into a lot of these groups. And I've talked about this on the channel before. I had a very large opportunity with the contractor in the group who brought me into a building. And last week, which I actually have to follow up with now this week, but the janitorial supply company who's in a lot of buildings has been getting me in buildings looking at different carpets and flooring that we can clean. So like those are kind of your partnerships that make sense. Our businesses really go together. But yeah, so other than that, that's pretty much today's daily recap. I've got a little problem tomorrow. I've got 2 different networking events at the same time. One is for the Interior Designer Society, and the other one is for this LaTip group. Now, I've already went to one Interior Designer Society meeting this month. This holiday time, they've got some extra events. So I'm on the fence. I don't exactly know where to put my time sometimes, because right now I'm getting a lot more out of the LaTip group that I'm in. But I know that if I'm much more consistent and I keep going to the other events with the interior designers, it might take me a lot longer to make headway with them. But once I start to make some headway with them, that can really transform our business, because typically interior designers work with higher net worth people who typically have much more home furnishings that need to be cleaned. So anyway, I'll let you guys know tomorrow which one I went with and why. But yeah, have a wonderful evening or daytime, whenever you're watching this. You guys keep it clean, and I'll see you guys in the next video.